A gentle giant lost the tail of Stella's sea cow. Imagine a creature so big, it dwarfed the largest walrus. A gentle giant, grazing on seaweed in the shallows. This was Stella's sea cow, a marine mammal that once roamed the icy waters of the Bering Sea. Sadly, this magnificent creature is no more, a victim of human greed and a stark reminder of our impact on the planet. This is the story of Stella's sea cow, a story of discovery, extinction, and the lessons we must learn from the past. In 1741, a Russian expedition led by explorer Vitus Bering set sail on a daring voyage into the unknown. Their mission was to explore the waters of the Bering Sea, a treacherous and largely uncharted region that lay between Russia and North America. The journey was fraught with peril, as the crew faced harsh weather conditions, unpredictable seas, and the constant threat of shipwreck. After weeks of battling the elements, the expedition found itself stranded on an uncharted island in the Bering Sea. The island was desolate and rocky, offering little in the way of shelter or resources. The crew, weary and desperate, had no choice but to make the best of their dire situation. Amongst the crew was a naturalist named Georg Wilhelm Steller. Steller was a man of great curiosity and intellect, always eager to learn more about the natural world. Despite the harsh conditions, he saw this unexpected detour as an opportunity to explore and document the island's unique flora and fauna. While exploring the island, Steller encountered a population of enormous sea creatures that had never been documented before. These gentle giants, which he would later name Stella's sea cows, were unlike anything he had ever seen. They were massive, slow-moving herbivores that grazed on the abundant kelp in the shallow waters around the island. These were the creatures that would later bear his name, Stella's sea cows. Steller was fascinated by these animals and spent countless hours observing their behavior and interactions. He noted their gentle nature and their remarkable adaptations to the cold, icy waters of the Bering Sea. Steller meticulously documented his observations of these amazing animals. He filled his journal with detailed descriptions and sketches, capturing every aspect of their appearance and behavior. His work would later become an invaluable resource for scientists and naturalists studying marine life. He described their immense size, with some individuals reaching lengths of over 25 feet and weighing over 10 tons. Their sheer size was awe-inspiring, and Steller marveled at their ability to thrive in such a harsh environment. He noted their docile nature and their unique adaptations to life in the frigid waters. Steller observed how they used their large paddle-like flippers to navigate the icy currents and how their thick blubber provided insulation against the cold. These descriptions would be the only scientific records of the species in existence. Tragically, Steller's sea cows were hunted to extinction within a few decades of their discovery. Today, Steller's journals and sketches remain as a testament to these magnificent creatures and the brief moment in history when they were discovered amongst the waves. Steller's sea cows made their home in a very specific and harsh environment, one that few other creatures could endure. These gentle giants thrived in the cold waters surrounding the Commander Islands in the Bering Sea, a place known for its extreme weather conditions and icy temperatures. The Commander Islands, located in the Bering Sea, are a remote and rugged archipelago. This island chain, situated between Russia and Alaska, provided a unique habitat for these giants. The isolation of the islands meant that the sea cows had little competition for food and fewer predators to worry about. The islands are surrounded by shallow, nutrient-rich waters that support an abundance of kelp forests, the sea cow's primary food source. These kelp forests not only provided sustenance, but also offered shelter and protection from the harsh elements. The cold, clear waters around the islands were also important for the sea cow's survival. Unlike other marine mammals, Steller's sea cows lacked a thick layer of blubber. Instead, they relied on a thick hide and a layer of subcutaneous fat to stay warm in the frigid waters. The sea cow's unique adaptations allowed them to thrive in an environment that would be inhospitable to many other species. Their thick hide not only provided insulation but also protected them from the abrasive ice and rough sea conditions. They lacked a thick layer of blubber found in other marine mammals like seals and whales. This absence of blubber made them more vulnerable to the cold, but their other adaptations compensated for this. Instead, they relied on a thick hide and a layer of subcutaneous fat to stay warm in the frigid waters. This combination of features allowed them to maintain their body heat and survive in the icy habitat of the Commander Islands. The kelp forests were not just a food source, but a vital part of their ecosystem. The sea cows would spend their days grazing on the kelp, which provided them with the necessary nutrients to sustain their large bodies. This symbiotic relationship between the sea cows and the kelp forests was crucial for their survival. Sadly, despite their unique adaptations and the rich environment of the Commander Islands, Stella's sea cows were driven to extinction within 27 years of their discovery by humans. Their story serves as a poignant reminder of the delicate balance within ecosystems and the impact humans can have on even the most resilient of species. Stella's sea cows were true giants of the sea. They dwarfed even the largest walruses, with adults averaging between 20 and 30 feet in length. Imagine a creature as long as a school bus. Their weight was equally impressive, with some individuals tipping the scales at over 10 tons, heavier than a large African elephant. Their bodies were large and cylindrical, with a thick, wrinkled skin that was often covered in algae and barnacles. They had powerful tails that ended in a horizontal fluke, similar to a dugong or manatee. Their front flippers were short and paddle-like, used for steering and maneuvering in the water. Unlike many other marine mammals that feed on fish and squid, Stella's sea cows were herbivores. Their diet consisted almost entirely of kelp, a type of large brown seaweed that grows abundantly in the shallow waters around the Commander Islands. They would use their large fleshy lips to graze on the kelp forests, much like a cow grazes on grass. This specialized diet had a significant impact on their behavior and social structure. Because kelp is a relatively low-energy food source, they spent a large portion of their day grazing to consume enough calories. Stella's sea cows were highly social animals living in small herds that grazed the kelp forests together. These herds provided protection from predators and allowed for cooperative foraging. Stella observed that the animals exhibited strong social bonds and would often come to the aid of injured or distressed individuals within their herd. Mothers were particularly attentive to their young, nursing and protecting their calves for an extended period. The calves, in turn, relied on their mothers for both nourishment and protection during their first few years of life. This strong social structure, however, would ultimately contribute to their downfall. Tragically, the same factors that made Stella's sea cows so fascinating, their immense size, docile nature and limited habitat, also made them incredibly vulnerable to human exploitation. Within just a few decades of their discovery by Europeans, Stella's sea cows were hunted to extinction. The sea cows were prized for their meat, which was said to be both plentiful and flavorful. Their blubber provided valuable oil, and their hides were used to make boats and other goods. The hunting was relentless and unsustainable, and the slow reproducing sea cows simply could not withstand the pressure. The extinction of Stella's sea cow had a profound impact on the ecosystem of the Commander Islands. These gentle giants, once abundant in the North Pacific, were hunted to extinction within 27 years of their discovery in 1741. Their disappearance marked a significant turning point for the marine environment in this region. As large herbivores, they played a vital role in maintaining the health and balance of the kelp forests. Stella's sea cows fed primarily on kelp, and their grazing activities were crucial in preventing the overgrowth of these underwater forests. Their grazing helped to control the growth of the kelp, preventing it from choking out other marine life. By consuming large quantities of kelp, they ensured that sunlight could penetrate deeper into the water, fostering a diverse range of marine species. Without the sea cows to keep the kelp in check, the ecosystem began to shift. The unchecked growth of kelp led to denser forests, which in turn reduced the amount of sunlight reaching the ocean floor. This had a cascading effect on the entire marine ecosystem. The kelp forests became denser and less diverse, impacting the populations of fish and other species that relied on them for food and shelter. Species that once thrived in the well-lit, open areas of the kelp forest found it increasingly difficult to survive in the darker, more crowded environment. The extinction of the Steller's sea cow serves as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of all living things and the devastating consequences of disrupting delicate ecological balances. It highlights the importance of each species in maintaining the health of their environment and the far-reaching impacts that can result from their loss. The story of the Steller's sea cow is a poignant example of how human actions can irrevocably alter the natural world, and it underscores the need for conservation efforts to protect the remaining species and habitats. The story of Steller's sea cow is a tragic one, but it also holds important lessons for us today. It highlights the devastating impact that human actions can have on even the largest and most resilient of creatures. It underscores the importance of understanding and protecting the delicate balance of our planet's ecosystems. Though the Steller's sea cow is gone, its story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of conservation. We must learn from the mistakes of the past and work to protect the incredible biodiversity of our planet for future generations.